One of the things that you get used to as a spoonie is anxiety. And this summer, it's been laying pretty heavy on me. And while it's pretty easy to get in my head and feel down on myself about it, this summer, I have tried an alternative approach to living my life even when the anxiety is feeling bad. If we can do it with a broken heart, we can do it with anxiety. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you 12 things that have brought me some relief. Quick disclaimer, of course, none of these 12 things are a substitute to actual professional medical help. This video is designed to be a little bit of fun. I'm gonna go through some of my favorites, including things to do with my work, to do with tech, to do with fashion, to do with media and wellness. So let's jump straight in. Number one will sound like stating the bloody obvious, which is I went to therapy. As an autistic person, therapy hasn't always worked for me in the past, but several things happened this summer that made me think, do you know what? I need some help unpacking certain things that I have been through. And I need that help to be professional. And this came from conversations with different friends, which led me to think, do you know what? If I don't want to feel this way, I need to be proactive in not feeling this way. So I went on the local counselling directory and had a look through until I found somebody who not only lived really nearby, was way more affordable than I was expecting, and has a really interesting approach which isn't just about talking therapies. In this video, I'm not going to go into why therapy and autism don't always go hand in hand. It is something I've been thinking about doing another video on, perhaps once I've had more sessions. So for the time being, therapy has been working for me because of the fact that this is a proactive approach that I am taking for my own health. The second thing I tried, which really did make me feel good, kind of made me feel relieved and like there was a movement of energy going on through my body. And this is TRE, or trauma release exercises. Now this came a little bit out of the blue. Again, a friend of mine's partner is going through training, and so this was a really good opportunity for me to try this. I've currently been to one lead class, only because I haven't been able to make it to other classes after that. But I have already been trying the technique at home as well, and it's proving to be helpful. Have you ever even heard of trauma release exercises? I hadn't before doing this. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting, and the whole premise is that as humans, or rather as mammals, as animals, we shake in order to dissipate certain energy within our bodies. We see our pets doing it all the time. Animals do it, babies do it, and then when we become adults, we don't really do it. What I found interesting about this was that it also connects to, obviously, autism and stimming. I felt like there was a relation there, because obviously I'm used to stimming when I'm in certain situations, and that's a way of kind of shaking to release certain energy. And this is really a kind of structured approach to doing that. So get some of that energy moving and get some of that energy out. The third thing I'm going to show you is this collaboration between True Start Coffee and World of Powders. It's a mushroom coffee. And I've been thinking for a while about perhaps some kind of mushroom-based supplements could be useful, because we hear about them giving you energy, giving you focus. So I chose this one for several reasons. One, because of the amount of mushrooms in each serving. A lot of the supplements you find don't have enough. Now, this one includes lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps, and chaga mushrooms. And of course, they all have different properties. So you need to have kind of over 1,000 milligrams per day in order to make a difference with mushrooms. I should say that none of these are psychedelics, but some of them are adaptogens. And I actually had a really interesting reaction to this. I think it was because of this. You never know. But I had a fatigue flare, a 2-day fatigue flare, which is very short, but it was very intense right after I started having this. And I spoke to somebody who is a nutritional therapist about it, and she said with adaptogens, they essentially adapt based on what your body needs. So if you are really in need of rest, they will basically shut down your whole system. So it's a little word of warning here, but that's what happened when I first started having this. I do wonder about the different types of mushrooms that are in here and how they might be useful for me. I have felt more grounded since having this, but I have also felt it's almost like it's really forced me to deal with things. So I felt more grounded and like I am ready to tackle things, but it also hasn't meant that it's been an easy summer at all. Now, I don't think we can put that all down to the mushroom coffee, but it's been very interesting, very helpful. The other reason I chose this one was because it is made with True Start coffee, and True Start are a company that we had on our podcast, on the Mind Styling podcast, a long while ago. Helena Hills, who's one of the founders of True Start Coffee. And True Start Coffee is all about giving you kind of good caffeinated energy without all of the challenges that come from maybe drinking coffee, although I don't find I have that bad a reaction with coffee. One thing with this I had to get used to is that it definitely tastes like instant coffee, and I don't really drink instant coffee anymore, so that was definitely a bit of getting used to. The fourth thing on my list is this reformed matcha. This is very much a Instagram ad influence purchase, but it has been really, really nice. I kind of got into matcha earlier this year. I wasn't really a matcha type of person until then. And then the reason I actually ended up getting this was because I was looking for collagen, and like I'm getting older, some of it's vanity, my skin is starting to sag, and some of it's obviously about health as well. And so I was looking for some collagen, and there just was no vegan collagen anywhere. I think, like there were some things I could find on Amazon, but to be real, some of those things call themselves vegan collagen, and then you look at the ingredients and it's bovine or marine collagen, and it's like, no, that's not vegan. Personally, I am vegetarian, not vegan, so I don't want anything that is animal based. I'm tending to look for vegan products where possible, but I certainly wouldn't have bovine or marine collagen. So this is the reformed matcha with collagen. Also has some mushrooms in here as well, but only kind of small amounts, so it's like a little boost on what I have in the coffee. And I've been having this every day for a couple of months now, and it feels really good. It's not cheap, but I do notice the difference, and I do enjoy feel like when I have matcha, it's just a like, sort of lets all the stressors relax. So I do like having matcha every day anyway, although I wasn't doing that before getting this. So the kind of price comparison is probably not like that good, but you'd have to have, this is something like 30 servings. If I was to buy a matcha out, this would cost me, I would probably get about 8 matchas for what this is giving me. And this also obviously has the collagen supplements that I'm looking for. So there might be cheaper alternatives. And like I said, you've probably seen this on Instagram, Reformed. You get a free pot and bottle on your first purchase, and then you get a subscription. I have got the subscription at the moment. I haven't decided whether I'm going to keep it up, but I do want to make sure that I keep getting the vegan collagen one way or another. And I did research to check that there was enough in this one to make sure that it will make a difference. Okay, number 5 of the things that's been making me feel really good, and we're moving more on into the fitness category now. So I've regularly been doing reformer Pilates, and another thing that's relatively pricey and called, well, this is called Reformed and has reform in the title. And it has really been helping me in terms of building my strength. The interesting thing for me over this summer is that the fatigue has not been good, but my actual physical and mental strength has been good, has been a lot better than it has been for a really long time. So even though I've had a lot more kind of days where I've just had to sleep all day, I've been in bed all day, even though I've been struggling to wake up and I'm needing more sleep, my actual ability to be present when I am around is a lot better than it's been in a long time. And I do think that the Reformer Pilates has really been helping me in terms of physical strength. And then coupled with that, I've been adding in yoga classes this month, and that's largely because I have a tendency to need to be surrounded by noise all of the time. I struggle to even go to sleep if there's no noise. Constantly, like as soon as I wake up, I'm putting on YouTube videos. So going to classes is a chance for me to get some space. This was something that was valuable in the TRE as well. So yoga and Pilates, and then also flexibility classes that I've been going to have all been a way to not only physically help myself, but to get some of that mental calm that I struggle to give myself when I'm just under my own devices. I know, yoga for calm, it's wild, but it was a really conscious step for me this summer to actually go to some classes. Number 6, also in the fitness category, the thing that has made me feel the best this entire summer is gymnastics, and in particular, and the thing that has most impacted me in the rest of my life, is being courageous in gymnastics. I've made conscious decisions in every one of my sessions recently to do something that scares me and do something that is actually going to make me feel really good and really proud if I achieve it. And so that's meant that over the summer, I have actually achieved things, which a few months ago I was telling myself I couldn't do. So this is a real representation of a shift in mindset, a more courageous mindset, a more abundant mindset, because I have been really talking myself down. When you've got anxiety, when that is brought on by physical challenges, when you feel like you've got other barriers because of neurodivergence, it's very easy for your mindset to slip into one of lack, to one where you victimize yourself, one where you tell yourself that everything's out of reach. And whilst there is some acceptance, and I did a video about acceptance a few months ago, there also comes a time for pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And that's really what I was doing with gymnastics, and that's helped me to also do that in other aspects of my life. Number 7, which is pretty close tie for like amazing moment of the summer. I went to the Reading Festival with my sister and her husband, and we just had an amazing time. I only went for a day. I couldn't do the whole weekend because I needed to sleep the whole rest of the weekend having gone for a day. And I know for many autistic people, a concert, and especially if you see some of this video of the concert here, like we were at the front and there are 90,000 people behind you. For some people, I know that that's like the opposite of what you might ever feel like you could do or would want to do. But for me, I really like that overstimulation. I find it like I can really relax in those kind of places. That's where I can just let go. And so the biggest highlight on that day was watching Chapel Roan and just seeing how like everybody was so swept away with her magnificence. And whenever I see an amazing performer, what I really admire and it really inspires me around is like a commitment to the art, a commitment to the things that you're creating. And so it makes me very keen to create more, to put more into the things I create, to have more flamboyance, which may not be apparent right now, but really leaning into being more myself and enjoying those fun, creative aspects, which I can very easily get stuck in my head. So it's a good reminder for me. Number 8, also in the media category, is my favorite TV show and my favorite character on TV, maybe of all time. Has anybody else been watching Elspeth? It's fun, it's quirky, it's got really cool fashions that I want to copy. And for anyone who's been really disappointed in And Just Like That, and you were expecting to take that original Sex and the City vibe and you're looking for New York City, you're looking for fun characters that you want to spend time with that have their flaws and have their vulnerabilities. You want to see that fashion and that fun, but you also want some murder mystery thrown in, then go to Elsbeth instead of going to And Just Like That. It's way better. And fun fact, the actress who plays Elsbeth was actually in Sex and the City, as I discovered not very long ago. So you even get to see one of the old characters all grown up. So I love this program. There is talk online about whether or not Elsbeth is autistic, and maybe that's why I resonate with the character as well. Number 9 kind of follows on from number 8. So when I watch TV, a lot of what I'm trying to do, and number 7 actually, because a lot of what I'm drawn into is the aesthetic and the fashion. And so I've definitely bought a few more things this summer than I would do in the past. I mean, I've gone for years of no buys, and that's largely because I have a lot of things in my wardrobe, so I don't need lots of new things, partly because I haven't been able to afford to buy new things. And now I generally only buy things secondhand, so I think everything I'm wearing in my current outfit is from Vinted. I did buy one thing this summer that was bought new, and I was influenced by And Just Like That, actually, funnily enough. There was this outfit that Carrie was wearing that, like, most of this series, she hasn't really worn relatable outfits, but there was one outfit she was just like hanging around at home, and I just was a bit obsessed with the top and went down a rabbit hole and found one which is not really similar at all, but let's just say inspired by. So I'm really looking forward to dressing that top up in different ways. I have been back in my Index app, so starting to digitize my wardrobe. But I'd also say I've got a little bit sucked down the rabbit hole, and in terms of scrolling on Vinted, and the number of likes I currently have in Vinted is probably completely unreasonable. I've also been into Emily in Paris a lot this summer, and I don't care what other people say. Like, I love the over-the-topness and the clashing colours and everything else, and I just need to put more effort into my clothes. I feel so much better when I do. It's something that I struggle with when my energy is low, and especially, like I said, if I'm getting up later and I don't have as much time to put my outfits together. But also physically, if I'm feeling tired, I can feel very restricted in certain outfits, so comfort becomes incredibly important. But otherwise, I've definitely been having fun with fashion, and I've enjoyed some of my new purchases, including these trousers that I'm wearing right now, again, which were from Vinted, but that are Free People trousers. Now I'm moving on to the work phase of this video, because something that I think that we forget about sometimes is that work can light us up. Work can be something that actually makes us feel good and feel better. And there are definitely aspects of my work that I'm really enjoying at the moment. So, of course, connecting with you on here is one of them. But at number 10 is pitch training. I really love working with founders on their pitches, and I've been doing quite a few pitches, pitch decks, pitch presentations, because there's several events coming up in the autumn where founders are going to have to pitch. And there's something really fun about not only delving into the business, because if you're going to pitch, and if I'm going to work with you on your pitch, I have to really understand your business. And it's so funny how in a very short pitch you can already see what all the challenges are in somebody's business. That's why they're designed that way, I guess, for investors as well. So by working on somebody's pitch, you actually end up working with them on the whole business, including themselves and as founders and their own challenges and the confidence or the lack of confidence that they have. So I have real fun kind of diving deeper into the business and getting to know the founders very quickly through this process. But also the wordsmithing is really fun. There's a lot of constraints when you do a pitch, and there's a lot of challenges therefore, but it also means that you can play with words and you can play with storytelling. And I've been having a lot of fun with that. Number 12 is actually related to that, and it's writing. I love to write. I find writing to be the thing that probably eases my anxiety more than anything else. And I've been writing more because I've been scripting a lot of my videos. And through doing that, I've been doing the process of writing. I have been doing researching behind that writing, so I've been learning about new topics. I've been really enjoying that aspect of it. And then I've also been writing a project proposal over the last couple of months now as well. So I've really been reminding me how important writing is to me and how much I enjoy it. And so I've been doing it over the summer, but I really have plans to carve out even more. I haven't been journaling that much, and I'd like to be writing more in terms of writing a blog, writing a newsletter. If there are newsletter topics that you would like me to cover, then please put that in the comments, because it is something I will be starting once I carve out a bit of time for it. And then number 12 on my list that has been helping me to find a spark of optimism and hope and personal motivation has been really digging deeper into tech and AI. Now, I know I've done a couple of videos on Gen AI, and to some extent they're relatively superficial at this point, but I'm very lucky in my work to work with tech founders and to work with academics who are working on deep tech. So I get the chance to really dive into those technologies. Now, when I'm working with founders one-to-one, we actually don't spend that much time talking about the technology. We mostly are focusing on the commercial aspects of the business and the founder and their own personal development. And so one of the things I've been doing over this summer is really getting deeper into the actual technology that sits behind those businesses that I'm working with. And for those of you who don't know, my first business was a technology business. I do have a PhD in chemistry, so I have a science background, and I've worked with technology and tech businesses for my entire career. So it is an area for me that is very interesting. I have also always been somebody who's not I'm not obsessed with technology for the sake of the technology. I am really interested in its ability to make a difference in people's lives and have a positive impact. I am also very interested in the fact that technology has taken over. It's going to continue to do it even more. There's no doubt about that. So ethics become really, really important. So technology ethics is an area that I'm very motivated to work more in as we go into the future. So I hope you've enjoyed that. It's definitely a kind of chill, chatty video today. Let me know if you find relief from your anxiety in any of the things that I've mentioned. Let me know if you feel motivated and optimistic about certain things and what those things are. I'd really like to know in the chat. And hopefully I will see you again soon. Cheers.